Hey guys, what's going on? Draax here with a explanation of Project Red Transportation. Now, I'm not an expert on the subject. I've only been playing with it a little bit, but as lack of videos, lack of documentation, I felt like that I should put a video out there because I kind of got it to work and it seems pretty good for what's offered in the Attack of the B Team mod pack, which is the pack that I've been playing with this in. So yeah, I'm going to kind of go through some of the items, and I'm going to show you guys a practical application of using the mod. So, first thing you want to start off with is an item transport pipe, and that's pretty basic. If I grab one here and show you, it's just a couple stones and a glass pane, gets you 16 of them. Not bad at all. Then we're going to want some routed interface pipes. Now, these are going to be the really important pipes. You'll probably use these in the transport pipes more than any other ones that are in this mod pack. And those are a little more expensive. If I go here and look at the routed juncture pipe, so we get 16 of them with 2 diamonds and some lumar, and the lumar stuff is not that expensive either. It just takes some glowstone and some dye, which the dyes can be kind of a pain to get in practical applications. Next is the actual junction pipe, which I've showed you just there, but I'll show you again. Right there, glass pane in the middle, 2 diamonds, 2 redstone, and some lumar. Gets you 16 of them. And then the item request pipe. Now we'll grab the item request pipe as well. And then over here we have the chipsets. Now these chipsets actually will go inside of the request pipes. And as you can see, each one of these is a different spot for a chip. And I'll show you how those work in a moment. So we have a item responder, item extractor, item broadcaster, and item stock keeper. The item responder will make a chest available to put stuff in. The extractor will pull stuff out of a chest. The broadcaster will broadcast to the request pipes and actually show up in this interface, and I'll get to that in a moment. And the item stock keeper will keep an inventory filled of certain items. Pretty easy. Now, the thing here in the middle you'll see is a router utility, and those I have found to be useful with the extractor chips, because the extractor chips, they pull out rather slow, but with this utility and some upgrades, which I'll show you in a moment, can be very, very, very quick. So, we're going to get started. I'm going to grab a chest, and I'm going to set one chest over here, and I'm going to come all the way down here and set another chest. Now, anytime that we interact with any inventory, whether it be a chest, a furnace, a deep storage unit, whatever, we're going to need this item interface. And so we're going to put one on each one of those, and we're just going to connect them up with some of these transport pipes. You'll see that little particle effects go through there, and the outside of the line will turn green. So if I break that, you see nothing, red, and green once it establishes the network. Very nice. So in this side, we're going to grab an extractor chip. Now, if I right-click on this without actually clicking on any item or inventory or anything, it's going to show us a little GUI. Now, this is pretty nice. If I scroll over these two, you can actually set what side it will simulate extraction. So if I had a furnace or something, I could extract from the bottom and it would pull it out in the proper spot. Or I could turn that off and it'll just pull out from whatever side that I'm actually on. If I click on the other one, it kind of lets you filter out some things. So by default, all of these chipsets are going to be in a filter mode. Let me turn off that. Filter mode is going to be whitelisted. So we don't want whitelisted items unless you just want to pull out certain items, then you would do whitelisted. But we're going to change that to blacklisted. And I had a heck of a time trying to get the system to work until I realized that. So keep that in mind. I'm not going to check the MBT data. I'm not going to mess with that. And I'm going to leave this empty. So now I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. And I'm going to come over to this chest. And I'm going to pull out a stack of items. And I'm going to turn off the rain. We're going to put these items in here. Now, as you're going to notice, this is not pulling them anywhere because there isn't a valid inventory, and that's what these item responders chips are for. If I come down here, I'm going to do this as well. You can set preferences, so like a higher preference will go and fill that inventory first, or a lower preference will be the last one on the line. But I'm going to come over here and I'm going to hit blacklisted. I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. So now that I put the responder chip in there, we're going to see items start flowing over there. Now that only does 8 at a time, as you can see, and we just pulled out another 8. So in the beginning, it's actually really slow. So that's what we get this router utility for. And grab one of those. I'm going to grab this extractor chip back out of here. Shift right click on the router utility. Let me grab these upgrades. So now I'm going to shift right click and I'm going to put the chip that I want to upgrade in there. So on the left side, the right side is still kind of buggy right now. I've not been able to get it to work at all. But on the left side is your latency. So that's the delay between extractions. And right now, as you can see, if I move off of here, you won't be able to see it. But if you see L slot latency 0, delay between extractions, delay equals 100 minus latency. So right now, it's still 100. If I put in one of the LX upgrades and I install it, our latency is now 25. So our delay would be 75. If I put in an LY, latency is 59. So 59 minus 100 is what? 41? So yeah, 41. I put in this, install, latency is 99. So one tick will pull out 8 items. So if I put that in there again, we should see after it updates for a second. Is there any items left in there? There they go. They pulled out really, really quick. I'm going to come back down here and put these all in there, and you'll just see they just spew out incredibly quick. Nice. So, how does that come into effect? Now, the way I set up some stuff is I just have different chests down in a storage room. And so I had, say, a chest there, and then I got a chest. Do I have any trap chest? Trap chest? Got one there. And I could set up whole storage units just between the two chests, and once this one fills up, this one. And so I could actually have another line coming out and have a request pipe on there. And this request pipe, right now it's not going to show anything, but if I take one of those broadcaster chips, like that, and put it on the one with items in it. Oh, I have to configure it. I'm not going to change anything. You just have to click on them beforehand. You put them in there. Come over here. We're going to see all of our marble. If I want to pick all of it out. Now, as you can see, some of the stuff is actually bouncing back and still bouncing around, and it's actually taking a minute to get to us. We don't want that. We want the system to be as efficient as possible, and that's where these junction pipes come in. So if I replace that intersection with a junction pipe, you'll see all the lines turn green and everything. And if I come back over here, fill that up, come over here and say I want to request all of that again, it's all going to come directly to me because it knows once that junction's set up that this is where it needs to go. So if you have any intersections and stuff's like taking a while to get to you, look at your intersections and put in some junction pipes. Alright, so now these stock keepers. These stock keepers are kind of cool. If I wanted to actually set up another junction pipe, and I'm going to have this come over here, put down a chest, and I'm going to replace this with an interface and a stock keeper. So I want to keep 5 of this marble cobblestone in this chest at all time, and I want it to fill it up. So if I take that, put it in there, and I come back over to here and put in all that stuff, we should see in a moment 5 come over to here. So that'll keep this always filled up with 5. Where that comes into play is stuff like engines where you have charcoal or coal or some kind of fuel that you need to be constantly filling up that machine. That's what your stock things are good for. So now I want to go ahead and show you guys some practical application. And what you'll see is I'll have a system similar to this. It's actually right behind us. So I have, you actually see stuff still happening in here. I've got stuff pulverizing. But this chest over here is actually, if I just grab a whole bunch, my input chest. So I had this like in my house up, you know, on whatever floor. So I can just walk up and dump all kinds of stuff into that inventory. And you'll see that it just kind of goes to whatever chest is available. And if I look through some of these chests, you're going to see that they're just absolutely full of stuff. And then once I come over here and I come to this request pipe, you're going to see all that stuff in there. So if I wanted, I don't know, say I needed 5 chests, I would click on the chest, hit 5, and hit submit, and you're going to see them come over, and it's going to pop out right into my inventory. Now for some reason it gave me 10. I'm not sure why that is. It might be a little buggy in this update. But yeah, that's how it works. I also have over here one of the item keepers, and if I take that out and actually look at it, that's going to have my different ores in there, and so it's always going to keep whatever ores that I have stocked in this machine. And you'll see it'll pull over some here in a moment. There you go. And then any extra that it had pulled over, because it pulls 8 at a time, any extra that it pulls over, it'll just send back into whatever chest. And you can see in the furnace, I have an extractor module on there, and it's just pulling out all the iron and putting it into whatever inventory is available to the iron. So that's our practical application. Remember, in these interface pipes, set them to blacklist mode unless you want to have it actually sorted out individually. Put a broadcast chip in it, and put an item responder chip in there. And that way you can access it through the item request pipes, and makes it really, really, really nice. If I want to select all the iron, we'll just go ahead and see all of that stuff get pumped out. I'm just going to throw it all on the ground there. That's a lot of iron. I'll walk over and pick it all up. And so now I want to put it all back. I can put it all right back in there. Now, another thing that you can do is put this like in line, like this request pipe. And so say that I had something like a chest or something in a wall, and I wanted to make sure that this got filled up with all kinds of stuff. If I did that, and I come over here and I select, I'm really not sure if this is going to work. I just assume that it works like this. But if I come over here, it should send it, well, maybe not. Maybe it has to be directly on there. Yeah, okay. So ignore that. I assumed that if I put an item responder in there, it would work that way. But say I want to select all of that, we'll see it pull out, and it should all jump right in there. So I could see eventually them putting up some sort of wireless ability for this, and having an ender chest or some sort of storage like that you could just, you know, have anywhere and pick up the stuff. So the Project Red transportation mod is really cool. I definitely suggest you guys checking it out. Remember, you know, the junction pipes and the blacklist mode. That was my biggest thing when I was trying to set up this system. And if you guys have any questions, please leave a comment down below, and I check my comments all the time. If you have something that you need to ask me, please do, and I will help you out the best I can. Like I said, I'm not an expert on this, but I will do my best to help you out. So guys, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please leave a like, share it if you really want to, let more of your friends see how this mod is actually used, and I hope that helped you. So have a great day, guys.